Let me tell you what the secret sauce for success is.
You're a voice actor. You're an entrepreneur. You're a VOPRENEUR. Welcome to the Everyday VOPRENEUR podcast, your guide through the business of voiceover.
Your voiceover demos are your #1 marketing tool, and you need to display them on your website in a way that works on any device or browser. VoiceSam is the player producers love. Plus, it offers tools that can improve your email signature, quickly create a one-page website, and much more. Sign up now at voicesam.com/markscott and get 3 months of the base player for the price of one. That's voicesam.com/markscott for full details and to sign up.
The VOPRENEUR podcast. Hey, it doesn't suck.
Not as funny as Conan. Not as cute as Seth Meyers. Not as smart as Colbert. But he's one of us, and that counts for something. Here's Mark Scott, the original Everyday VOPRENEUR.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Everyday VOpreneur podcast, your guide through the business of voiceover. I'm Mark Scott, the original Everyday VOpreneur, and this last few episodes we've been focusing on some things that are going to set you up to make sure that 2021 is better than 2020 was. And I'm guessing for at least a few of you, that's probably not going to be too hard. I know this year has not been great, but I do know that next year can be better. It can be as great as you are willing to make it. And the whole purpose of these last few episodes is to guide you towards some things that are going to set you up for success. This episode in particular, I'm really excited about, and I've reached out to a few colleagues to give their takes as well, because you know what? It's really easy to listen to all of this advice from me, but sometimes you just got to hear it from somebody else to know whether or not it's really legit. Before we dive into this week's episode, I do want to take a moment to say thank you for leaving your reviews on Apple Podcasts. By reviewing and rating the podcast, it does help other people to find it. So every time you leave a review, I want you to know that I'm grateful. And I also want to let you know that you can check out any episode anytime by jumping onto the website at VOPRENEUR.com. So the secret sauce. What is the secret sauce for success? If you listen to last week's episode 88, you might already know the answer to this because I alluded to it at the end of the episode. The secret sauce, in my opinion, is accountability. You can have the demos, you can have the coaching, the training, the skill, the ability. You can have a client base. You can have a website, a great social media presence. You can have the fanciest studio with the best microphone, all of the top equipment. You can have, literally, you can have everything that you need to be running an incredibly successful business. But without accountability, to make sure that you're doing the things that you're supposed to be doing on a daily basis, all of that other stuff really isn't worth a whole lot. And trust me, I have had conversations with voice actors who have everything they need for success except accountability. Because sometimes you need somebody that is going to put boot to butt. That is one of the things that I have become associated with, or has become associated with me. Hashtag boot to butt. I'm going to love you. I'm going to encourage you. I'm going to support you. I'm going to motivate you. I'm going to try to inspire you wherever I can. But when need be, I am going to hashtag boot to butt you. And that is part of what accountability looks like. If you don't have that aspect of your business, then chances are you are not achieving the level of success that you are capable of. Because we all need people on our side, in our corner, who are going to drive us just a little bit further. Those people who are going to help us to raise our game. And that is exactly one of the points that Kate Nealon made when I asked her what she thought about the importance of accountability.
I've been part of a voiceover accountability group this year, and let me tell you, it's raised my game like nothing else. It's not for the faint-hearted, though, because you really have to allow yourself and your business to be seen. There's no more hiding behind excuses that I can convince myself are real, because there's always a different perspective. And the diversity of thought and ideas that a group can offer has been a way more successful strategy for me and my business than going it alone. Because there's a power in the collective, an energy that you feel when everyone comes together to share the actions they're going to take to move towards their goals. And you want them to succeed, and in return they want you to succeed. So it becomes this force for good. And as you get to know everyone, you start to feel as though their success is your success. We've been part of helping each other achieve our goals, and that's really quite lovely. Inevitably, an element of professional and personal pride kicks in, so of course I never want to be the one to turn up not having completed the tasks I set myself. And don't get me wrong, I didn't hit the mark each time in terms of completing the actions I'd set, but, and I think this is absolutely key to the magic of an accountability group, I got way closer than I would have done without the group.
I love that she specifically mentions that accountability is not for the faint of heart. And I think that that probably stems a little bit from Kate spending time with me as part of a mastermind group and knowing that, like I said, when you need it, I'm going to put boot to butt. The reason why it is not for the faint of heart is because when accountability is done right, sometimes it's going to hurt. Sometimes it's going to sting a little. Accountability is not about finding a group of people who are going to pat you on the bum and tell you you've done a good job when you haven't done a good job. Accountability is about having a group of people who are going to pat you on the bum and tell you did a good job when you did do a good job, but who are going to put boot to butt when you don't do a good job. And you are going to get to a point where you don't want to disappoint them. Nobody wants to be the only one that shows up to the meeting who didn't do their work, who didn't meet their goals, or at least put forth an effort to meet their goals. And so that is why accountability is not for the faint of heart, because if it's really working, you're going to be held accountable. And if you didn't do the thing, then sometimes it's awkward and sometimes it's embarrassing and it's a little bit uncomfortable. And that's the way that it's supposed to be. I also love how she specifically talked about diversity of thought. You know, one of the reasons why I put together a mastermind in the first place was I wanted to be able to draw from the collective background, wisdom, intelligence, experience of different members. Everybody's got a take, right? I facilitate the group. I kind of lead the group. But at the end of the day, I know that I don't have all the answers. And I know that I don't have all of the perspectives, that there are more perspectives out there. Some maybe are much more suited for the situation than mine is. And so I like to be able to have the ability to draw from a larger group of people. And I know that that's one of the things that Kate specifically mentioned, diversity of thought and ideas. And I think that there is a lot of value in that. And I also really appreciate how she says that their success becomes your success. And if an accountability group is working the way that it should, then that's the way that it should be. When the people that are in your group are doing the things that they're supposed to be doing and you're watching them to next level, it shouldn't be a situation where there's envy or jealousy. It should be an environment of celebration, of joy, because everybody's got each other's backs. Everybody's rooting for each other to achieve. Everybody wants to see each other go to the next level. And when you surround yourself with that kind of energy, when you surround yourself with that kind of positive thinking, that's when something really special can happen, right? Because you've probably heard it said that we become like the 5 people that we spend the most time with. And so it's really important who you allow into your circle. If you're building a really great accountability or mastermind group and you are letting the right people into your circle, you're all going to pull each other up higher. You're all going to help each other get to the next level. And I think that's one of the reasons why accountability becomes so important. And you know, one of the other things that I think is really important about accountability is that it makes sure that you're doing the things that you're doing. Lots of times voice actors will set goals for themselves, and not just voice actors, any of us will set goals, and you've probably done this in your life too, where you've set a goal for yourself or set a series of goals for yourself, and rather than specifically going after some of the things that are in the goals that you set, because maybe they're hard, maybe they're going to challenge you, maybe they're going to make you uncomfortable, maybe you're not entirely convinced that you can achieve them, and so what do you do instead? You do the easy things. You do the easy things that you've always been doing, except why did you set the goals in the first place? Because the things that you've always been doing aren't getting you the things that you actually want. And so when you allow yourself to just settle in, do what you've always done, do the easy thing, really you're just shortchanging yourself. You're setting yourself up for success when it comes to attempting to achieve your goals. And that's something specifically that Kevin Charles talked about.
In addition to the mastermind group that I've been a part of for the last year, I am fortunate to have weekly sessions with my brother where we talk about our respective businesses, our goals, our successes, our failures. We plan things together. We bounce ideas off of each other. And this year, I also started working with my daughter in a similar way to try to boost my business. She's really good at sales and marketing and just has great ideas from a younger perspective than my brain has. And it's been just really invigorating. Before I had all these people surrounding me with words of encouragement and support, I was basically going through the motions of my business, and it actually ended up being more of a side hustle than an actual business because I wasn't running it as a business, even though it was my only source of income. Once I had people actually watching and expecting me to produce, I was energized to do more than just go through the motions. I wanted to make sure that every time I met with them, I had some results to show that I had actually been doing something and following through with the plans that I'd made and the goals that I had set. As a result of all that, I now have notebooks full of all sorts of notes that I used to try to keep stored in my mind and think, oh, I can handle that. But no, I can't. So I would write things down so I could hold myself accountable. And then I would also pass those along to the members of the group, as well as to my daughter, to my brother, and let them know what I was working on so that the next time we talked, they could ask me those questions that let me know that I had a responsibility to actually produce something and to do something in my business, not just sit back and wait for business to come to me and for clients to find me, that I had to proactively go out and get it.
Pushing him to results. I love that. You've got people in your corner that are pushing you to results. People in your corner that are going to make sure that you're not just going through the motions of your business. People that are going to make sure that you're not just doing the easy things, that you're doing the hard things, that you're doing the things that are going to bring you closer to your goals. This is why accountability is so important. And one of the things that I really appreciate about what Kevin had to say was part of his accountability structure is his brother and his daughter. Sometimes we think that we just can go out and we've got to find some voice actors or some other colleagues or people in a relevant field or a related field, that those are the only people that we can draw accountability from, but that's not necessarily the case. There's no reason why, if you have an honest, open, caring, loving relationship with a spouse, with a sibling, with a child, there's no reason why that can't work. If you guys are going to be straight with each other, pat each other on the bum when you deserve it, but boot each other in the bum when you need it, there's no reason why that can't work. And I love the fact that it's something that Kevin's been able to do with his family. And I love how it's changed the dynamic of that relationship and brought him closer with his brother, brought him closer with his daughter. I think that is a really awesome thing. 2021 is going to be as good as you make it. And you know, a lot of people used COVID and the pandemic as an excuse for why their business didn't do the things that they thought it was going to do in 2020. But there are a lot of people who had record-breaking years. There are a lot of people who are out there who had great clients, great opportunities, experienced growth in their business, growth in their income. Those are the people who, despite whatever's going on, get out there and hustle and do the work. Those are the people that are spending every day doing a little bit of marketing, making some new connections, trying to find opportunities for themselves. I want to teach you how to be one of those people. Voiceover Marketing Playbook is coming again January 5th through the 14th, 2021. This is your opportunity to start the year off right, learning how to be a more confident and effective marketer. So here's the deal. If you've got professional training, demos in a home studio, but you're still not booking, if you're confused, overwhelmed, frustrated, don't know what to say in your messaging, don't know who to talk to, don't know how to approach it, we can fix all of that. Voiceover Marketing Playbook is a step-by-step, easy-to-follow marketing course. It is going to give you a clear plan for finding your own leads, building your own client base, and becoming the consistently working voice actor that you want to be. Let me help you get there. Playbook is coming January 5th through the 14th, 2021. Watch the website for details. I would love to have the opportunity to work with you. January 5th through the 14th, 2021. Details available at voiceovermarketingplaybook.com. That's voiceovermarketingplaybook.com.
Now, back to our show.
One of the reasons why we don't achieve our goals is because we set them and forget them. We sit down in January, we think about all the things we want to accomplish this year, we write all of those things down into a notebook, or maybe we put them into a software on our computer. Some people will actually write them down on a whiteboard, hang them up in their office or something like that. But we've written them down now, and now we're just waiting for them to happen. We don't actually do anything with them. We never look at them again. We don't revisit them. We don't work strategically towards them. We assume that setting them is enough. And setting them is absolutely not enough. Setting the goals is only the first step. Setting the goals is actually probably the easiest step. Once you've set the goals, then the really hard part comes into play, and that is the actual work towards achieving the goals. Accountability is going to help you do the actual work towards achieving those goals. And if there would be anyone who knows about setting goals and being held accountable to those goals, it would be an Olympian. Here's what Lisa Soden had to say.
I think accountability is vital for any success. But in this most extraordinary year of all years, accountability has been my saving grace. I know, it sounds cliche, but it's true. It's kept me focused on the important things. What's working? What isn't working? Am I spending time on lead generation? Am I doing my follow-ups, social media, rather than everything else that's going on? Because of accountability, my voiceover business is really well positioned looking towards 2021, and it's only going to grow from there. Olympic athletes have an entire team of people that hold them accountable, called coaches, to help them get to where they want to go. We're no different. If you don't have accountability in play, you're going to slack off. You're going to neglect your lead generation. You're going to find something better or easier to do instead of doing the hard stuff, which is building your voiceover business. Don't let yourself get off the hook. Find an accountability system that works for you.
Accountability helped Lisa to do the things that she should be doing, to do the things that she needed to be doing. Right? This is so important. As I work through goal-setting groups with people who are going to be part of my mastermind group in 2021, at the end of each one of those sessions, I remind them of a very important factor. Now that you've set your goals for the year, now that we know what you consider to be important, what you consider to be a priority, we know the direction that you want to try to take your business, the things that you want to try to achieve, now we need to make sure that the vast majority of your time is working you towards those things. That means that every task that you put onto your calendar needs to be filtered through the lens of your goal. Is this thing that I am doing right now, or is this thing that I am scheduling myself to do, is it going to bring me closer to one of my goals, or is it going to bring me further from one of my goals? When you are sitting down and you are binge watching the latest season of whatever on Netflix, is that bringing you closer to your goals, or is it bringing you further from your goals? When you jump onto Facebook because you just want to leave a comment on that one post, but 2 hours later you're still on Facebook scrolling through your feed, is that bringing you closer to your goals, or is that bringing you further from your goals? In addition to having an accountability group that helps to make sure that you're moving in the right direction, that provides you with that encouragement, that support, that boot to butt when you need it, your goals, in and of themselves, are part of your accountability structure. Because if you are filtering everything that you do through the lens of your goals, that is going to keep you on track. That is part of what is going to make sure that you are doing the things that you should be doing or doing the things that you need to be doing. And when you catch yourself doing the other things, you are able to stop yourself and you are able to, as Lisa said, keep focus. Get back in your lane. Over the last couple of episodes, we have talked about mindset and the importance of mindset. Truly one of the most vital pieces of this whole entire puzzle for setting yourself up for a better year in 2021. In the last episode, We talked about goals and some of the factors that you need to consider when it comes to setting your goals and making sure that you're setting goals that are achievable, making sure that you're setting goals that are important to you, making sure that you're setting goals that are going to set you up for success. And now, this week, accountability. Hopefully what you've heard from me, but also what you've heard from Kate, from Kevin, and from Lisa have helped you to realize the true value that can be found in accountability. That's the secret sauce. I'm telling you, if you've got everything else in place and you're still not where you want to be, accountability is probably the thing that is going to get you there. You can find yourself an accountability partner. You can find yourself an accountability group. I am a big fan of using my journal, my daily planner, my Clever Fox planner, as a form of accountability. I'm in that thing every single day. Every single day, I am reviewing the things that I am working on and making sure that they are bringing me closer to my goals, not further from my goals. I'm taking a look at the goals that I've set for the year. I'm taking a look at the goals I've set for the month. I'm taking a look at the goals that I've set for the week, and I am holding myself accountable to working towards those big things that I want to achieve this year. Filtering it all through the lens of my goals so that my Clever Fox planner becomes another source of accountability. Great goals set with a deadline, a system that allows you to write them down and review them on a regular basis. I encourage you to do it on a daily basis. And then a support team of some form or fashion. These are the 3 different ways that you can create accountability for yourself that is going to help you to make sure that 2021 is so much better than 2020. I want to thank you again for checking out another episode of the podcast. I want to thank you for subscribing, for sharing this episode as well. If you go to VOPRENEUR.com and click onto this episode, you'll find some pre-written tweets. All you have to do is click a button and it'll automatically send it out to your network. Help other people to find this episode. And maybe in the midst of doing that, you're going to see who's sharing it, and it's going to help you to put together an accountability group of your own. But I would strongly encourage you, if it's something that you've never done before, it's something that you should absolutely try. Accountability is the secret sauce. Thanks so much for listening. I'll catch you on the next one.
The Everyday VOpreneur Podcast. Available everywhere fine podcasts are given away for free. Mostly, we think.
Your voiceover demos are your #1 marketing tool, and you need to display them on your website in a way that works on any device or browser. VoiceSam is the player producers love. Plus, it offers tools that can improve your email signature, quickly create a one-page website, and much more. Sign up now at voicesam.com/MarkScott and get 3 months of the base player for the price of 1. That's voicesam.com/MarkScott for full details and to sign up.
And scene.
And that's a wrap. Thanks for hanging in. Thanks for hanging out. Want more VOpreneur goodness? Jump online at VOpreneur.com.